boys and girls. I hope you're enjoying your journey. Now we will begin with our second destination. So we have to reach our second destination and we'll begin the journey towards acids, bases and salts. This is the second chapter for grade 10 chemistry, and in this we'll be learning all about acids, their physical and chemical properties. Then we will be doing about bases, their physical and chemical properties, and also the preparation of a few salts. Okay, so let us begin our journey. So before we go and start with the journey, let me ask you, whenever we say acid, you will say acid is very corrosive. We are scared of acids and all. But then when you eat tamarind, when you eat a green mango, when we eat lemon, or even if we see, the tamarind and those khatti meethi imli which you eat. So the first thing you do is, yes, that sound comes because already we are salivating, because that is very sour. Yes, khatta hota hai na? So that is in the food. Otherwise we are talking about acids which are in the labs and very dangerous and all, but then in the food like lemon and then oranges also have acids in them, but they are all edible. Okay, so those are the acids. Bases, every day we experience with this, and these days we are experiencing more of it. Washing your hands, soapy touch. Sometimes when we are shampooing or when you wash your face, the soap goes into the eyes, so it starts burning. You have to wash with a lot of water the eyes. Yes, soap is a base. Bases, they are bitter. Sometimes when it goes by mistake into the mouth, you will say because it is very bitter. It doesn't give a very good taste. But acids, you'll say this. Yes. So, and then salts, of course. Salts are the common salt, sodium chloride, which we use in our food. So sometimes we say we love you as much as salt. Somebody makes a statement. Then we'll say, what is the statement you're giving? What loving like salt? But then eat food without salt. Can we eat? We are not able to eat. It's very, very difficult. Even if there is less of salt in some food, then we say, no, no, I want some more salt. And we start sprinkling salt. So that way each and every substance has its own importance. Okay, so we are going to learn all about these acids, bases and salts in this chapter. Great. So let's begin our journey towards acids, bases and salts. So all the acids can be classified into two types. Okay, one is the natural acids and the other is the mineral or inorganic acids. Now these natural acids, as the name indicates, they are present in the food substances. They are present in fruits, then they are also present in green leafy vegetables, and you can also find them in certain products, dairy products also. So for example, you have citrus fruits, yes, citrus fruit, for example lemons and oranges, they are all citrus fruits. Then you find oxalic acid. So this citrus fruit, lemons and oranges will have citric acid in it. Citric acid, it is edible. Okay, then you have oxalic acid. Oxalic acid is another natural acid which is present in spinach, has oxalic acid. Then you have in bananas. Then we also find in this type of leafy vegetable which you see, it is known as rhubarb. Leaves have oxalic acid in them. So there are many food products which have oxalic acid. Then of course lactic acid, you all know about lactic acid. Milk turning into curd is with the help of lactic acid bacteria which form lactic acid in the curd. Yes, so lactic acid is found in the milk. Then you also have acetic acid, although it is, of course, Acetic acid is an organic acid, but then the food product we use is as vinegar. Vinegar has 5 to 10% of acetic acid, which is 5 to 10%. When I say 95% would be water and 5% would be the acetic acid, which is a weak acid. Then you have cream of tartar, which has tartaric acid. Tartaric acid is also found in tamarind, and all these acids, they give a very tangy taste and also a sour. In fruits we get the sour taste, or else it may give a tangy taste. Tangy, we call it tangy taste. And whenever we have these sour food products, what happens is, you generally, we tend to make this sound. Yes, especially children, yes, they enjoy the sour taste or the tangy taste. So this is what happens when we eat any natural food which has some natural acids in it. Then the second category is the mineral acids. Mineral or inorganic acids, these acids are made in the industries, and they can be prepared in the industries, and they are used in for various purposes, and also in our school labs and all also we experiment with these acids. Okay, so one is sulfuric acid, H2SO4. It is used as a battery acid also, but then all these acids are dangerous. They may be explosive, very concentrated. If they may be explosive. They cause dehydration when they fall on the skin. That's why you feel that burning sensation. Whereas natural acids, if you see, if lemon falls on my skin, then it will not hurt me much as when hydrochloric acid or sulfuric acid falls on the skin. What happens is there's dehydration, so there'll be a burn. It starts burning. So these are very dangerous. So nitric acid, HNO3, it is used as explosives, to make explosives. Then phosphoric acid is a food flavoring. Phosphoric acid, the phosphates made from the phosphoric acid, the phosphate salts which are made, are used in the paneer and the dairy products, so that they can be preserved also. Then hydrochloric acid, HCl, is used, of course it is secreted in the stomach and it helps in digestion. Acetic acid, as I told you, vinegar is used in all Chinese food, your noodles, Manchuria, everything we add vinegar. Yes, and then carbonic acid, again your favorite, students. All the aerated drinks have carbonic acid in them. So water, carbon dioxide in water. So it becomes carbonic acid. So they are all carbonated water, or the soda. Soda also is carbonated water. So all these soft drinks will have carbonic acid in them. So these are the common acids which are also found in the labs. You can see them in the bottles, and they are all kept in bottles, and you are not supposed to really be playing with them, okay, because they may be very dangerous. So there are two types of acids. One is the natural acids found in the food items, and also in naturally grown fruits and vegetables. And then there are mineral or inorganic acids which are used in the industries and in the labs. Okay. So now let us see what are these acid base indicators. Now I have the acid also, I have base. So how do I know? Both are colorless. I take two beakers, I have acid in one and I have base in one. Okay, but then how do I identify which is an acid and which is a base? Number one, I cannot taste them. Please do not do it also. It's very dangerous. Okay. So how do? I need something to test whether it is an acid or a base. I need some substance which will indicate, which will tell me whether this number one beaker has acid or base, or number two beaker is the acid or the base. Okay. So these substances which indicate or which tell us whether a substance is an acid or a base are known as acid base indicators. Indicators are chemical compounds that tell us whether a substance is an acid or a base. Okay, whether a substance is acidic or basic. How will they tell us? Because both the acid and the base which we have taken are colorless. So they change color. So when these indicators are added to the acid or the base, they show a change in the color. With that change in the color, we get to know whether the given substance is an acid or is it a base. Okay. So very important is how do they indicate is by changing the color. So common natural indicators, we have again indicators can be of two types. One is natural indicators and second one is synthetic indicators. This is man-made. Synthetic indicators. Natural indicators, they are obtained from the plants. We can get the indicators from the plants. So they are known as natural indicators. Example, turmeric is a natural indicator, China rose, then we have red cabbage, then we have grape juice, which are natural indicators. Then litmus solution. So in the neutral solution, now we have here how they indicate. Okay, this table will tell us how we can get to know. This you can even do in your lab. Okay, it is your teachers can make you do in the lab so that you can identify that the given substance to you whether it is an acid or a base. So if we take a litmus solution, the neutral solution would be purple and the acidic solution it turns purple to red and in the basic solution it will turn to blue. Okay, red cabbage leaves extract. Now these red cabbage leaves, red cabbage have you seen? We all generally eat the green cabbage, but then we do get red cabbage also. I'm sure a few of you would be relishing even the red cabbage. Red cabbage is also used in, in the restaurants. They use a lot to make noodles. Yes, your favorite dish. So these red cabbage extract, the leaves, with the leaves, the extract can be obtained and that extract in the neutral, if I take a neutral solution, it will be red in color, red cabbage, red in color. But when I put that extract in acid, then it remains red. But when I put it in a base, it will turn green in color. So when two solutions are given to me and I put the red cabbage extract in that, so what happens? If the solution remains red, then I know it is acidic. But if it turns green, then I know that that substance is basic. Okay. Then there are petals of hydrogena also. Turmeric, very commonly known indicator, turmeric. Turmeric we all know is yellow. Haldi is yellow. Okay. So in acidic solution, it will not have any color change. Okay, but in the basic solution it turns reddish brown. A very common experience is, suppose there is some turmeric or haldi when I am having food, I drop the dal or something on my dress. So what do? I quickly start washing with a soap. If you observe that part of the dress where turmeric or the dal had fallen which had turmeric in it, it turns reddish brown. Yes, when you rub soap on it, because soap is basic. Got it? Soap is basic. So this turmeric, which is an indicator, is turning reddish brown when you rub with it. Try it at home. I'm sure you must have experienced this already. So these are the natural indicators. Indicators which are obtained from plants and they are known as the natural indicators. Some of the examples are turmeric, China rose, red cabbage. Then you have litmus solution also is a natural indicator because it is also made naturally. Okay, litmus solution is also made naturally. Then we have other indicators which are synthetic. Synthetic is man-made indicators. So they are methyl orange. You must have heard about this, methyl orange. So what happens in acid solutions, methyl orange remains orange. But when it is a base, it turns yellow in color. If it's a basic solution, then it will turn yellow, indicating that the given substance is basic in nature. Then you have bromophenol blue, also thymol blue, bromophenol blue. But the most commonly which we use in the lab are methyl orange and phenolphthalein. Okay, so phenolphthalein in the acidic medium it is colorless, and in the basic medium it turns pink in color. So these are the substances which are indicating whether a given substance is acidic or basic. How? By changing the color. So in acid they have a different color, in base they have a different color. Some of them in acid they don't show any change in color, but in base they show a change in color. That's how we can identify. So as I've told you, the two common indicators are phenolphthalein and methyl orange. So phenolphthalein in the acidic medium it is colorless, and in the basic medium it turns pink. You need to remember this. Okay, you may be asked questions related to this. Then methyl orange, in the it is orange, as the name indicates, it is orange in color. So when I add this methyl orange to an acid, it changes into red. The complete solution changes red, indicating that the given substance is acidic. And then in a basic solution it turns yellow. So this is the important indicators which you need to remember, the changes in colors. Of course you will be doing them in the lab also about these indicators and actually testing the acidic and basic solutions. So you will get to know more about this. Okay, so these are all about the acid base indicators. Now let us see, there are some olfactory indicators. Olfactory, what does olfactory indicate? Smell, something related to smell. So we can smell something. Do you get the smell of onions? Very strong smell. Garlic, very strong smell. Yes, so they are, so what is happening, we are able to smell them. So the olfactory organs, that is the nose, is able to smell it very well. So there are some indicators. So just by smelling we can get to know whether it's an acid or a base. How? Onion has a characteristic smell, as I told you, onion, yes, very strong smell. So when the basic solution is added to a strip treated with onions, that means not directly adding onions, we are first making a strip which is treated with onions. That means onions, that strip is dipped in the onion juice and then dried so that it has only onion juice on it. So that strip is taken to the basic solution. So what happens in the basic solution? Onions have a strong smell. Remember, onions have a very strong smell. But when I put this strip which has been treated with the onion extract, that means it has onion extract in it. So the strip, I put it in the basic solution, then I cannot smell any onions in it. The smell of onions disappears. Whereas in acids, what happens? The smell continues. We can smell the onions in the acids, but in a basic medium or a basic substance or a basic solution which we are testing, the onion smell disappears. Okay, so the smell. So what have I used? I have used my nose. I have used the olfactory organs to detect or to identify whether the given solution is acidic or basic. I repeat, olfactory indicators are related to the smell. So if I take onions, onions are olfactory indicators. How do we make these indicators? We take the extract of onion juice and take strips of paper and dip in the extract, dry them so that the entire strip which I get has onion extract. Okay. Now this I am going to use to identify whether a given substance is acidic or basic. How do I do it? When I put this strip in the acidic medium, the onion smell I can get. I can smell onions. But when I put the strip in the basic substance or the basic medium or in the beaker which has a base, then the smell of onions disappears. So that is how it is known as olfactory indicator. Similarly, vanilla extract, vanilla, yes, vanilla ice creams, vanilla you add to the cakes, the essence, vanilla essence, that also has a very sweet smell. It has a very nice smell. You can smell that in cakes and in the bakery products wherever it is used. So in the ice creams, very strong smell you get. So this extract again has a characteristic pleasant smell. We all know it's not that strong smell, it's a very pleasant, nice smell. You feel like having more of it. So in a basic solution, the smell can't be detected. You can't detect when this vanilla extract is put in a basic solution, then the smell disappears. There will be no pleasant smell of vanilla, nothing you will get. But in the acids, you still keep getting the smell of vanilla because they cannot destroy the smell. That is how you can use these olfactory indicators to detect whether a substance is or the given solutions are acidic or basic. They are olfactory indicators because everything is happening with smell. I am only smelling, I am not tasting, I am not seeing any change in color, I am only smelling and trying to identify. In acids, whether it is onion extract or it is vanilla extract, they are not able to destroy the smell of onions or vanilla extract. But in the bases, what happens? In both the cases, the smell cannot be further experienced. Okay. So let us see where are these acids found. We have learnt about acids, right? So acetic acid is found in vinegar, as I have already mentioned, vinegar which is used in the Chinese food a lot. Then formic acid is found in ant sting. Have you all ever been, I think at some time or the other or some point of time, whether when you were little babies or kids or standing in the bus stops and all, somewhere you must have been bitten by an ant. Yes, and the ant bites, you feel very itchy and very irritating. So that is because of this formic acid. We will be learning more about this when we are doing, it's an organic acid, when we are doing about organic chemistry. Then citric acid is found in citrus fruits, oranges, lemons, we already know. Lactic acid, of course, in the curd. Oxalic acid in spinach, as I told you, leafy vegetables. Rhubarb also has oxalic acid. Ascorbic acid, vitamin C, is found in amla. Amla is very good. It is very good for the body, for the immunity, to improve the immunity, and also for getting good, healthy hair. So ascorbic acid, amla is very good. So it has ascorbic acid. Tartaric acid is found in tamarind, as I told you, tamarind. Then grapes also have tartaric acid. Then unripe mangoes, that's the green mangoes. Green mangoes, they have tartaric acid. So they are all natural. Now these are all natural. Then bases found in, now we'll be learning about the bases also. So we will see where the bases are found as in when we learn about the bases. So till now we have done about what are the acids and natural acids, then mineral acids, then what are indicators, how do we identify when two solutions are given, they are both colorless. So how do you know which one is an acid and which one is a base? So what do we use? We use indicators. We can use natural indicators or we can use synthetic indicators. So we've learnt about natural indicators and then synthetic indicators, as I told you, commonly we use in the lab methyl orange and phenolphthalein. Okay. So you should know about olfactory indicators also, because sometimes CBSE does ask a question on olfactory indicators.